So for the 44th lesson of class, we had a pretty challenging lesson, determinism versus free will. This is a good practice for those who are going to be college bound in a year or two. And this determinism versus free will debate, it's a conundrum that's at the very root of metaphysics. And it's been going on for a really long time. From Leucippus and Democritus, 2,500 years ago, to Sam Harris's recent book a few years ago. This is philosophical bread and butter, and people have been discussing it for a very, very long time. And, there's one of my favorite bands of all time, Rush, and their song Freewill. And, you can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You can choose from phantom fears and kindness that can kill. I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free will. So even this debate is in pop culture. You really can't get away from this debate in philosophy. And why would you want to? It's a good debate. So short poll. Now, if you were absent, you can do this yourself. And in class, you already know this has happened. And here's the question. How many of you can think that science can find causal laws for everything, including our minds, so that a super intelligence would be able to predict our futures? Okay, a little mind melting. Now, how many of you think we are fundamentally free and unpredictable, that we are the creative authors of our own lives? Now, to help calibrate the results, how many of you never raise your hands when asked such questions? So here's the thing. If you raised your hand, was that a product of some free will, some choice of your own? You were completely free to raise your hand, or was it preordained that you would? Just a little, hors d'oeuvre before the entree, if you will. And I'm going to save this for those who are going to take college philosophy. And if you're looking at this and think it's fairly intimidating, it's because it's pretty intimidating. And you can branch off into many different, subsets of this sort of debate. But for our purposes, let's just keep it to 4, okay? We're in high school, okay? And we're going to be looking at hard determinism, compatibilism, hard indeterminism, and libertarianism, which is plenty, believe me. So, determinism. It's the theory that every event, including every human action, is governed by natural laws. Now, technically, determinism is the belief that a determinate set of conditions can only produce one possible outcome, given fixed laws of nature. Now, many believe this rules out human freedom. So this is the first vantage point, and please don't confuse it with fatalism. Now, fatalists claim that there is nothing that we can do to affect our lives in any significant way. For example, I cannot in any way affect whether I'm going to have a fatal car accident tomorrow. Basically, when it's your time no matter what you do. So if I eat healthy and jog every day versus I drink a bottle of whiskey and 5 Big Macs a night, I'm checking out whenever I'm checking out. That's fatalism, whereas determinism, determinists, allow that human actions can make a difference. Now, fatalism often takes the form of religious predestination. And if you were in my world history class, and many of you were, some of these historical people, for instance, the Vikings, when it was their time, it was their time. It was religious predestination, and some people believe that, okay? Now, hard determinism. Hard determinism is behavior that is caused by unconscious desires and fears, or environment and heredity. Freedom is an illusion. People are not responsible for their actions, though they can be held responsible for social purposes. Hard determinists believe people are like highly complex clocks in that they are both molecular machines. So that's the hard determinist point of view. Now, compatibilism, they believe, if you are a compatibilist, you will believe that free will is compatible with determinism. To have free will is simply for one's choice to cause one actions. Free will is a power of acting or not acting, according to the determinations of the will, to quote David Hume. If I had chosen to act differently, then I would have acted differently. So that's the compatibilist point of view. Now, hard indeterminism. Indeterminism is the idea that certain events are not caused or not caused in terms of, it's the opposite of determinism, and it's related to chance. So deterministically, it is the opposite of determinism and related to chance. So here's the 2 puppets. Determinism, every event is triggered by a pre-existing cause. Indeterminism, some actions and decisions are independent of pre-existing cause. I do what I see and learn. I do what I want to do, I don't follow. I don't know if you get that or not, but the puppets are cute. Now, libertarianism. Now, libertarians believe that free will is incompatible with causal determinism, and agents have free will. They therefore deny that causal determinism is true. The task of the metaphysical libertarian is to reconcile free will with indeterminism. Don't get this confused with the political connotation of libertarianism, a third party, the Libertarian Party. This is different. Now, the standard argument against free will is either determinism is true or indeterminism is true. Now, premise one, if determinism is true, we are not free. Premise two, if indeterminism is true, our will is random, so we cannot be responsible for our actions. Logical philosophers conclude that free will is incompatible with both determinism and indeterminism. No free will either way. And some people buy into this argument, other people don't. And challenging subject for sure. And I appreciate everybody in class contributing and helping to elucidate your classmates. And here's the journal entry I'm going to ask you to write. I'm going to provide a synopsis of the four views presented today: hard determinism, compatibilism, hard indeterminism, and libertarianism. Also provide your assertion. This is what I'm most curious about. Provide your assertion on how you feel this metaphysical question affects you personally. So, if you were able to handle today, you are ready for college. Go, my children, be fruitful. Thank you for watching.